go back to a story that you once
It wasn't that short. I'm like 90 years old.
He's 92. Isn't that crazy?
Looking good. Sorry.
You shared this story, and I know this is a very personal story. But when I interviewed George up here, we talked about kind of pivotal moments and how stuff can get pretty stressful sometimes. He talked about throwing up blood at one stage in his life, and from stress. And I know that when you were, what was it from? I know that when you were consulting at these Fortune 500s, you led a little bit of a different lifestyle, and then something happened and things shifted.
It was actually a little bit later than that. That was actually at Yahoo. So basically what happened was, so like the way I like would solve problems is like, you know, I was always like this sort of smart dude. So like I would just like try to encompass the entire problem inside of my head and contain everything and in a way try to control everything, right? Because I would like make this very intricate map around how everything needed to happen, both in terms of how the code was written or how the people were working and so on and so forth. And the truth is like life is actually not that controllable. And there was a particular stage where I was like running this product team, and we were just like a couple weeks from getting to our launch, and all these political things were happening at work, and they were going to cancel the project and pull out the team, and I was just stressing like crazy about the entire thing. And I had a sort of medical event happen where like I had some massive internal bleeding that resulted in me losing about 40% of my blood in 30 minutes. And so all sorts of really interesting things about that. Like you could, you know, I could literally feel the life leaving me. Like you could feel your extremities getting cold as your blood is basically draining out. They needed to give me 4 simultaneous blood transfusions just to keep me alive. And then they did that multiple times in the night. And ultimately, when I woke up the next morning, the folks told me that I was probably like about a couple minutes from irreversible brain and organ failure, just because of the rapidity of the blood loss. Now, at the end of the day, like a lot of this stuff was just a type of like internalized stress. I mean, like you take on so many things, you try to control so many things, and when you really can't, then your body responds to it, and like you sort of live through that mythology that just by outsmarting everything, that everything is going to go your way. And the truth is that you need to be a lot freer about life. You need to allow some things to happen the way that they're going to happen. You got to do the things that you can. You got to be smart when you can be, but it's an interplay. It's not something that you can really completely just control, no matter how smart you are.
And how does an experience like that change you? I mean, other than realizing that, did you go on a new trajectory in life?
Yeah, I woke up and I thought, why was I so upset about that project team? You know, because that was the thing that I'd been stressing about going into you know, those weeks. I was actually at home at the time during like taking a break for the Christmas holidays, and you know, I still continued to get the work done, but it was just like with a totally different feel around it, because I ended up getting 8 blood transfusions, and you know, human beings are mostly liquid, and like I had most of my liquid replaced that evening. It made me realize that I was only alive that following morning because of the generosity of 8 strangers, and it you know, changes the way that you look at the world, right? Because you start to think that, you know, it's not just these projects and these products and like the technicals and how you can think about it. It's the people. That's what the whole thing is about. And like you sort of start thinking about what generosity could you possibly give back, because there's no way I can repay those people. I don't even know who they are, but it's a powerful thing that people can do for each other. Just that act of generosity.